Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Keyring 1.0.1. I rate this box about a solid intermediate, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so we're going to start by opening our terminals here. I'm going to start by running in the discover -r 10.0.0.1/24/I/0. Doing this, we do get the IP of the box, 10.0.0.242, so I'm going to start running an mmap scan. So I'll do mmap -sc for default scripts, -sv for enumeration. I will scan all ports on the IP. Doing this, I don't want to wait for the map scan, so I'll do a netcat -nv, which is basically a banner grab, and we'll do this on port 80. And you do see that port 80 is open for HTTP. This is an IP address. It is telling us to fill out a form to create an account. So we'll just create an account. So I'll just do proxy programmer. We'll create the password as password, right? So we'll just sign up. We'll go to login. We'll do proxy programmer, and we'll just do password, right? Doing this, we do get a long cussle as our user that we created. We'll go to control, about, and it doesn't seem like we do have anything, right? I'm gonna start by running a GoBuster. I'm gonna GoBuster dir mode -2 HTTP. We'll delete that. Also delete the about.php. We'll do -w for user share word list. We'll do dirbuster directory list 2.3bm.txt. We'll do extensions as HTML, txt, and also PHP. I'm also just going to grep out for 200, so we only get the status code for 200. Doing this, we already did visit index.php, login.php, and we also do have a history.php. So we can start by visiting history.php. Doing this, if you do refresh the page, we just do get a blank page, but I noticed if you log out, you do see that we just show can't find this user activity, right? So I'm guessing there's a parameter here that shows for user. So here I'm just going to do user. I will just do proxy programmer and see if we can test out for SQL injection, right? We'll go to proxy, send this within burp. We'll go to close, we'll go next, start burp. So here I'm going to go to proxy, we'll go to options, we'll set this to specific address, we'll go to intercept. We do have Foxy proxy on, we'll press enter on this. We'll just turn this off again, press enter on that. Go to proxy, press enter on that, now it's intercepted. We'll send this into intruder. We're going to test for SQL injection, we'll go to options. So here for the positions, we'll clear the positions, and I think we intercepted the wrong thing, so we'll do user proxy programmer, and this within the proxy. Press enter on that, send this into intruder. And now we do have the parameter, right? So we want to test for SQL injection after the proxy programmer, which is basically the user. So we'll go to load. In this case, we'll go to payload all the things and try to download a SQL injection for intruder. So we'll go to payload all the things. I'm gonna do Control F and do SQL injection. We do have SQL injection. We'll go to intruder. We'll just get the basic SQL injection to fuzz. We'll just get the raw data and wget this. So I'm just gonna wget this into a machine. I'm just gonna move SQL injection to a .txt file. -la, and we do have our file right now, right? So we'll go back to burp, go to load. We'll load our SQL injection.txt. We do have our position where we want to test for the SQL injection. We'll go to start attack. Okay. Let's go back. In this case, if we do look back, this is not good. The status code is not going to change. So let's look at the length. We'll go to response. You do see that the server cannot understand this, right? So we'll just close this out. One more time. We'll log in as my user. We'll go to login. We have proxy programmer and we don't know the password is password. So we press enter on this one more time. We go to start attack. So looking at the length, you do see that we do get, let's check the response. You do see that we do get a valid SQL injection, and we also do get a GitHub link, right? So we'll go to render, go to click to render to the page, and we do get this URL, right? And it also does show our payload, right? You can also go to the headers or the request, and you'll see that this is URL encoded. For the response, we'll just copy this and we'll visit this link later on. So I'm just going to copy this. We'll visit that later on. And since this is vulnerable SQL injection, we'll just use SQL map for this. So we'll do SQL map -u. You can just copy this, all right? So we'll just copy this. We'll do SQL map -u. We'll dump out the databases. We'll also do -batch, -batch. Looking at the request we'll just get the PHP session ID. So we'll go to raw. We'll just copy this. I think this is minus cookie, I believe. Press on this. I'm just gonna do SQL map. We'll just do minus help or grep for cookie. And it is telling you to specify minus cookie. And we'll do the PHP session ID. So looking back at burp, we do have our session ID here. So I'm gonna copy this, send this within, set this as the cookie parameter for the PHP session ID. We can press it on this, zoom in, press it on that. And it does seem like it did fetch the database names, right? Here we do have information schema, MySQL, performance schema, sys, and users. I'm gonna check under /users. So we need to take off the /dbs since we already do know our tables. I'm gonna do -t or -d for the database. I'm gonna go under the users database and do minus tables. Tables. We do have log and details, so I'm gonna specify -t and then try to dump the tables out, right? So I'll do -t for the table. We do have details, and we'll do -dump, and we'll do all. And here you do see that we do have a user as admin, John, and proxy programmer. You do see my password is password. We do have username as John. So doing this, I'm just gonna, since we do have SSH open, I'm gonna try to SSH into John and see if we can do a password reuse on this. So do SSH to John, 10.0.0.242. And does seem like we just do need a private key, right? We do have a username as admin, which is under my password. Let's try to log out and try to log into admin. So do admin, press enter, and you do see that we do get welcome admin, right? Looking back at this GitHub page, let's try to look into this. If you do go into the controller.php, if you do zoom in here, we do have a system function, which is the parameter for cmd cntr. Basically, we can just do like question mark cmd tr. And this was under, you did see that this is under the control.php, right? We'll go to control.php, we'll do question mark cmd cntr is equal to ID. And you do see that we have code execution for www data, right? So I'm going to go to proxy. Anytime I do code execution, send this within proxy. Actually, I'll just use the same. Session, right? We'll turn this off, send this within proxy, send this into repeater. We do ID, and we are www data, right? Here, I'm gonna go to pentest monkey and try to get my temp reverse shell. So we'll go to pentest monkey. We'll do control F for temp. Copy this, and we need a URL encode this, right? So we'll change my IP address to 10.0.069. We'll send on port. We'll put the port on 4444. I'm going to control U to URL encode this. And we need to start up our listener. We'll do all wrap netcat minus LMVP on 4444. Compressor on this. And you do see that we do get a shell, right? So I'm going to export our term is equal to x term. Clear this. We do ID and we are www data, right? So we'll go into cd/home. I'm going to try the password reuse since we can switch users to John. So I'm going to start by spawning a TTY shell so we can have this in a proper terminal. I'm going to copy this. We'll change this to bin/bash. And we'll run this in Python through, right? I'm going to switch users to John. I'm going to try our password reuse on this. We didn't know that this is John's password right here. And it does seem like we do get along successful as John, right? So I'm going to cd into John. It doesn't seem like he does have a .ssh folder, so I'm going to make one for him. So I'll do mkdir for .ssh. And we'll try to add a authorized keys under here, right? So I'll do SSH keygen. So we're going to copy from root .ssh id underscore rsa to this directory, our private key, and also do have our public key. So I'm going to cat id underscore rsa.pub. And try to, we're going to echo this onto the authorized keys, right? Open a text editor. So we'll echo this, we'll echo the private key. So authorized underscore keys. We'll just copy this, put this into the .ssh. And now we do have authorized underscore keys, right? So we'll do chmod 600 for authorized keys so John can only access this. Since we do have the private key for the public key, we're going to be using that. So we'll SSH into John at 10.0.0.242. We'll do -i for id underscore rsa, which is going to be the private key, right? And we do get a long successful, right? So I'm going to do ID. Looking at our IDs, you do see that we do have the user or the group for Alex D. We could do the prefix for Alex D. So if I just do which Alex C, it does seem like we have user bin Alex C. Let me see if I can run this. And it does seem like we can run this, right? So we can do a prefix for this, right? So I'm just gonna just search up exploit. We'll just search up exploit db, Alex D. I'm gonna copy the raw data. Okay, so I'm gonna vi into, we'll just name this prev underscore esc.sh. I'm gonna right quit out of this. The next thing we need to do is actually build our Alpine. I'm gonna do build Alpine. Hopefully it shows up to GitHub. So I'm gonna git clone this repository, cd into LXD, and we just need to build Alpine. Hopefully this builds on the first try. And we should have a tar.gc file, right? In which we do have a .tar.gc file, right? So now we need to transfer this onto the target machine. So we'll do http.server. We'll start a server on 8081. We'll go under /dev shm. You can also go under temp, but I like going under dev shm. So we'll wget http and now 0.069 on port 8081. And we do have our file here, which we did get that. You also do need to get our prev_esc.sh. We'll do chmod plus x, turn this into executable. We'll do prev_s.sh. Doing this, it is telling us to specify the -f option, which is going to be the file name for the tar.gc file, which we do have Alpine. Pressing enter on this, you do see that we are root, right? But we are in the container, so we do pwd. We are under root. So to get the root flag, you can go under root or under mount. I will use root. We can get our root.txt, right? And there is our root flag, right? If you did want to get out of this container, we can go under /etc, cat the password. You do see that we can prev using the password, right? Since we are under group ID for root. I'm gonna do mk password. We'll do the -m for the method. We'll do SHA-512. I'm just gonna enter password. Copy this. Since we do have a persistent shell, I'm gonna vi into password. I'm just quit this out first. So I'm just going to make a user as proxy programmer. We'll add our hash there. We wanted to give the groups. We'll do /root bin/bash. So we do have our groups. We want this to be under root /root and then bin/bash. We just copy this. We'll vi into password. We'll just add that under there. And just to make sure, we'll cat our password and we do have user as proxy programmer, right? Just to make sure, we'll X out of this. We'll cat our /etc password. And you do see that we have user as proxy programmer, right? So I'm just gonna copy this, switch users to proxy programmer. We do password and we are under root right now, right? So we can cat our root.txt. And we are out of the container, right? Another way to get root on this box, if we just X out of this, we are under John. You do see that we do have a SUID bitset under John, which is compress. So we just run compress. Didn't seem like we do have anything. Basically it's using tar. I don't know this by the off of my memory, so I'm just gonna search up tar prev-esc. So let's look down here and see what we can find, right? So doing this, it does seem like they do echo a reverse shell to shell.sh. Find the set the checkpoint action, and checkpoint is equal to 1. In this case, we're going to be using compress, so let's just do that right. We'll vi into shell.sh. Actually, we'll just get a temp reverse shell. We'll change this to port 4444. And we'll change my IP address to 10.0.069, right? We'll do chmod plus x for shell.sh. Turn this into executable. So we'll just copy this now. We'll get our checkpoint. And for this, it is using tar, but in this case it's compressed. So I'm gonna start with my listener. So I'm gonna do all wrap netcat minus LMVP on 4444. We can press enter on that. And you do see that we do connect from 10.0.0.242, right? We do ID. We can go to root, encounter root.txt. Well guys, that's pretty much in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.